Hello everybody, welcome to the Ordeals of Livistio. I am your humble dungeon master and host, John. It's nice to see you again after a week. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing great.
Guys, I have bad news. Jeff, our valiant hero, our best man who I invited to my wedding, who showed up and gave me a bouquet of flowers, will no longer be able to play for the foreseeable future. He's gotten a new job, and we congratulate him for getting that. We will miss you, Jeff, and if the stars align and you can come back, you will have a place. We promise. Oh. Aside from that sad news, Yonsei, also known as Henrietta, has to be gone this week. As we continuously take turns rotating who is in and who is not in for week after week. One day, we will all be here again.
That was last week, John.
No, I don't. I have no memory of that, so I wasn't there that week. We're gonna go around the table, say how our weeks were, and then we're going to jump straight in after a little recap. Starting with Red this week. Red, how was your week? Looks like you're eating something, so I'm glad to call you.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was really hoping you wouldn't call me first, because I just took a bite of burrito. And I haven't eaten much today, so it's like my food for the day.
Oh.
Other than that, week's going pretty good. It was a pretty solid week. Can't say anything bad about it. I mean, nothing extraordinary happened. It's just a lot of prep work for a week-long vacation. So, that's what I've been up to.
Very cool, very cool. Corin, how about you?
I was sick for a lot of this week, but been getting better this weekend. Been playing a little bit of Dragon Age Inquisition going back to like 2014, 2015. When did that come out? Anyway, it's alright. I don't know that it holds up to the same standards of storytelling as like a Baldur's Gate 3, but it runs a lot better on my computer, so that's what I'm playing.
Well, if it runs, it runs. How about you, Greg?
Can't complain. Pretty normal week. I'm boring. I mostly do the same things every week, so I don't know. I don't have a lot of news.
Well, there is something to be said about people and routines. I miss having routines, honestly. But Rube, now that I'm done philosophizing, how was your week, man?
Had a great week. Did a lot of business. I finally got to Act 3 in Baldur's Gate.
Ooh.
Nice.
First thing I did is I killed Lororicane, the wizard at...
Can't spoil the game.
Oh. I killed a wizard. It was fun.
Very cool.
And then some dark elf made
Usually
me blow
is.
up. Yeah. But yeah, had a good week, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited you guys are here, too. Guys, I can't remember who did our recap last time. It was Corin, so it has to be someone else. Who wants to do the recap today?
I can do it.
Okay.
So we had ended the session before last hearing about a folk hero with a big stick that we decided to go set out to find. With a guide of Ricardo, we head out just daring due north from where we are. No heed for roads or civilization, just right through the like grassy plains. And along the way, we were stopped by a Neordian patrol. But disguised as the riffraff we are, as proselytizing disciples of the mother, I suppose. We let Dizem convince this man that his faith was bullshit and he should be instead the great undertow of the mother upon the land, which he bought hook, line, and sinker. With a brand new faith, he led us on our way, and who knows what atrocities he will commit in the future. But after abandoning the road altogether and going across the plains, we eventually were snagged, quite literally off our horse in the case of Sneferu, by a magical hand. And after some investigating, we found a skeletal hand with an extra bone, and just chilling, just hanging out in the dirt. After a cordial handshake, we learned that it was a apprentice warlock, or like an apprentice magician of a warlock, of an age long past. So we dug it up, like good people, and found a cursed spearhead lodged in its back, and a tail with a hand on it, but we don't need to talk about that. We pulverized all the bones, mashed them up into salt water, and spread them into the ground so that, it was properly put to rest. And we took the cursed spearhead with us, which I've been microdosing for, negative energy, so I can practice my mental fortress technique during the session. We then showed up at the city that was defended gloriously by Big Stick Man. Where we learned that everyone is incredibly freaking old because there's a necromancer in town that just goes by the necromancer, doesn't hide it at all, and he's a really good healer. After talking to our centennial mayors, half the party went to speak to the folk hero. And half of us went to go speak to who shall be forever known as the Necroprancer, as he had a big skeletal horse face. And the Necroprancer, was powerful and weird, as you would expect, and has offered a quest to seek out some potions. The other half of the party met with the bestial visage of the hero, seeing him to be not quite what was expected, perhaps, and is in the process of bribing him with sweets and maybe trying to get him on our side. I'm not really sure exactly. The prince is chilling in Necroprancer land at the moment, and that's kind of where we left off.
Indeed. That was a very good recap, Greg. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Guys, all that happened, and I don't think there's anything we need to add, honestly. Are we all satisfied with that recap?
Pretty satisfied.
I mean, his big stick weighed like 45 pounds. So,
Yeah,
he's
big
not
stick.
fucking
Hey,
around.
it was a long stick, okay?
We
Not everything
love
has to be
sticks.
girthy.
Girthy, heavy, there's some mass to it. Guys, it is currently the 29th of March, I want to say. Yes, of March. Tomorrow, the full moon shall ascend on the glorious 30th of March. Which, is cool. John knows.
Is this how we learn everybody's been cursed with lycanthropy? Tracking moon phases now.
Who said? Everyone. Anyway, you... Well, I suppose... Regroup? Yeah, that's the word. Reconvene, that's what I'm looking for. Dyson, Glynis, and no one else to my memory went to go see the Necroprancer, and as you have gotten the details of where exactly this man wants you to go find potion recipe, what the hell, this fucking horse-headed skeletal thing is like, go that way!
I'm with it.
You were heading out when Snefru, Ursale, Yonsei, who was T-posing, and of course, Felix, who will be T-posing until John figures out how to remove him from the narrative, are hanging out with some sort of reptilian guy. I call him reptilian because it's more of his behaviors rather than his image. He is wearing a traveler's coat. He's not holding his big stick. He doesn't think he'll need it. And he's looking right at you as the sun is beginning to set. You guys are outside in the town square currently when you all have regrouped.
Well, it seems this has gone well. Hi, new fellow. My name is Glynis. seems you've chosen to come with us. I said
This creature's head turns to Ursale and Snefru, wondering if that is the case.
Mr. Sonny, this is our good master Glennis, who I wanted to introduce you to. He has great works he wants to see done, and I think we could do good work together. My master, this is Sonny. Is what we've been told to call him so far.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you, and I try to shake his hand.
He will daintily shake your hand, not even putting it into a grip. He is the most limp-fished handshaker in the world. I cannot give you a handshake for the life of him.
I'm a royal. I'm sure I have dealt with more than my fair share of limp-wristed handshakes.
Your dad, specifically, is like, good job, son, and just like no
mind,
strength at all. After shaking your hand, I suppose he will lightly grab it and then just like point towards the outer gate.
I look.
Yeah, that's the road to the outer gate.
Are you trying to leave? Are you wanting to leave?
He nods his head.
Okay. I think then if you're coming with, we are largely done here. Dizem, are we done here? Do we need to be hunting potions?
If you and the rest of the party agrees on it, I would enjoy gathering these potions and fighting the...
How long will it take?
Prancer.
By the way, Snefru, you missed out on a crazy person. The
You would've loved him.
Necroprancer, he's got
You would've loved him.
like a skeletal horse face. He's really old, knows crazy magic.
Not Elven,
apparently- Not Elven?
but he's
not
been
a lich,
along since
supposedly? Anyway.
What?
Craziest
Yeah,
dude.
I really think you should have gone instead of me. I'm not gonna lie.
It was amazing.
And he wants potions?
Yeah, apparently.
Potion
I didn't. He whispered daintily in
Whispered it into my ear.
Izem's ear. I don't know.
And I was totally told what we were supposed to go and retrieve.
Yes, which John will tell you after we finish out the scene.
A powerful magical being sounds like another potentially great ally, Master.
If we retrieve... Do we have to call him Master now? Can we just call him...
It's not required at all. Snefru's being very formal in front of our new friend.
If we retrieve these recipes and give them to the Necroprince, he said he will join us on our quest.
Well, you know, two birds, one stone. It seems like this trip has been very fruitful. We could definitely try to spend a day or so or more on
My
this.
question is timing. We have been
Yes,
long away from the
and-
capital, and
Mhm.
I've had very cagey responses about the length of time that would be required to complete these
I
missions.
will tell you this length of time right now.
While you do that, let's go get the horses.
Dyson tells you
and
the
be
length
on our
of
way.
time, and it seems both reasonable and something you don't care about, Glynis, because it'll take more time. And you want to go the fuck home.
Well, the concern I have is we've been on a small delegation, or I don't know, negotiation mission for roughly a month. Right? And we had roughly a month of time-ish before, hell breaks loose. I kind of think we need to get back to the capital. If this is like, go to the cherry blossoms and find the one with the gnarled trunk that looks like a skull and dig up my dead apprentice's satchel, right? Like, I think we
Yeah.
can do that, right? But if this is like, hunt for the, the lake underneath the mountaintops that shows the, beauty
Greg.
in all things and retrieve for me the
Greg, you're
dew of the
spoiling it!
mountain.
How'd you get into my documents? Glynis, as you're beginning to narrativize what Greg himself is saying, like, we really need to, like, get back. Maybe that's, like, a side object. After the war, we'll definitely, like, come back for sure. Glynis, you were, like, physically, like, being slowly pulled and dragged towards the gate.
Oh, okay, great. Sonny, I appreciate that you're a man of action. I like clap him on the back and like join him in the trot.
As you
you
start trotting,
not
he will
concerned?
continue to run with you, outpacing the party entirely. Now you two are running hand in hand like absconding lovers towards the gate, Glynis.
Okay.
You guys notice that, or rather remember that the tavern where all your stuff is, along with Ricardo and your horses, is not in that direction. And as Glynis continues to get pulled, realizing that this probably isn't an escape now thing, but a we need to talk outside kind of emotion.
Okay.
I'll go get the horses.
Good
Catch up to you.
will
I'll go
transfer.
grab the belongings.
1,000 feet away from the city walls, Glynis, you will get to hear the faint whisper of Sonny, or rather, the son of Sigus. He quietly whispers into your ear as though he is afraid to speak at a normal cadence, but John doesn't want to do an ASMR stream, so you're going to have to forgive me. Unless you want that. Unless, ...
I don't know.
Glynis. John has to remember, actually. Hang on. You called him your master, but Yonsei, I believe, said that Glynis was her servant? And she was like a traveling bard to...
We said that to the people of the town, but not
Okay.
to
Not to
Sonny
him.
was the idea. The idea was that this was a good cover in case of like obvious political threats just kind of happening to come
Okay.
through, but to the person we were recruiting, maybe honesty was the best policy.
I get you. Sorry. Mine got jumbled for a second there.
No worries.
Sonny will whisper in your ear and directly question you of what is your intent.
Well, my intent is to protect the kingdom of Livistio, my home, and its people. The people to the west of here, the Niords, they are intent on conquering Livistio and using that trial of blood to name a new heir. As of now, I need allies and strong men that will help me defend my people, prevent this from happening. In the future, and in the past, I had other plans. And perhaps one day I will be able to create my band of men-at-arms to earn our glory in battle and name. But while, of course, helping those of the kingdom. But for now, that has been shelved and set aside. My focus has been entirely on preparing for this coming ordeal.
It has been an ordeal, hasn't it?
One of the many ordeals.
As you say all this, he finds this acceptable and says, What will you give me as payment?
Oh. What would you desire?
Money. And trinkets.
Money and trinkets. I would be happy, I suppose, to pay you. I currently have no money in my pockets. I have spent it all on a small band of fighting men. But should we return to the capital, I am sure we can see you stipended. A strong hero such as yourself fights against the Neors would surely earn a place in court, if you so desired it. And the perks that come along with it. As for trinkets, I'm not so much a pillager. I don't like taking spoils of war, but should we find fun trinkets that you desire, perhaps we can find a way to make that happen.
He thinks for a moment. Wonders if this is acceptable. I may want more in the future.
I understand. But if terms as is are acceptable for now, I would heartily welcome you and your assistance.
I need to get my stick.
Excellent. I need to get my horses too. Shall we meet back here?
Yes.
Wonderful. Welcome to the band of the unicorn, I suppose.
That's a dumb man, he says immediately as he walks away.
That's very fair. I came up with it on the spot, and it needs workshopping. All right, this is a long walk back to the city.
You walk back as he sprints back fully. The guard is like, "Oh shit, the gate!" and he goes to unlock the gate real fast. After. You guys aren't planning to leave tonight, right? Or are you?
I think it depends on...
Yeah, I guess the
guy
question
is
I have for you,
told.
John, is what exactly is the time requirements on potion stuff, right? Are we gonna sit and do potion stuff, or are we leaving? And if so, yeah, I mean, we might as well skedaddle. We've got our stuff.
Chances are you're gonna want to skedaddle. Potion Man, take me by the hand, because I know you can. Wants you to go to a specific place in the Elithil Steppe where there used to be an arcane workshop that is buried under the ground somewhere.
Okay.
Which chances are you're not going to be interested in, and knowing that the plane is filled with random boars as well as fucking undead, this may become more of a hassle than you want specifically. And thus,
okay,
yes, you can get potions, but also this would probably be kind of a, it is a simple fetch quest, but it could spiral into something
as this is becomes evident to me in council, I guess, I will send Sneferu and Dizem to the Necroprancer to be like, hey, we have to go. We're under a time crunch, but we will do this. All right, sign me up, put me on the quest accepted list. We'll come back eventually, but Glynis, I think, would prioritize getting back to the castle within a reasonable period of time, even though it's been very long.
And we would thank him for his advice on how to catch shapeshifters.
Yes, that too. Yes.
What advice did I give you, gnome? The horse thing yells at you, Sneferu.
Yeah, none to me, but to my master, you gave him a great tip about separation and tracking.
What?
Shapeshifters.
When was that?
Earlier today.
I spoke with no one about nothing, and you can't tell otherwise, Fed. He shouts at you, Sniffer. I recognize your brim hat. I am but a humble costumer, and also herbalist. I am no necromancer or prancer at all.
Please be at ease. I have no quarrel with you as of yet.
For now,
As of yet.
For now, and I do offer my gratitude. Do with it what you will.
I'll have it never returned, and see you never again. Be gone.
You might want to step outside.
My secrets
Yep,
will
yep,
die with
yep.
me, he shouts as you leave. Being incredibly mistrusting of any regulatory body of wizards or magic, he will yell at you to skedaddle. And as you leave, Dizem, you will see that he has posted a sign out that says no wizards. Put out in quite some time. Oh.
Everywhere I go.
Wizards, they try to take all of your magical shit, man.
Ooh.
That's close.
On the morrow, I suppose, you guys will set out for who wants to travel the boar-riddled, undead-infested lands of the steppes at night when your horses can't even see prairie dog holes. That'd be silly. So on the 30th is when you will leave the quaint town of Walton with a mercenary. A mercenary hero. Walton...
Does he run as fast as a horse?
How fast do horses run? 40?
60? 50 or 60, depending on the horse.
No, he does not run as fast as a horse.
He's
However,
dashing.
if he's dashing, he might. He is not too worried about getting lost, and also horses don't like him, so he doesn't want to ride one either. I think he'll just tell you guys to go on ahead, and he will follow you.
I mean, seems reasonable. He knows the area. He's the folk hero.
He's a folk hero. It's also like 2 days, 200 miles. It's like 3 days to and fro, which makes sense. Yep. He knows where Brienne is. It'll be fine. You'll meet him there. He'll show up like a day late. Sigus son. I just saw what you posted, Red. You cringe lord. Cringy boy. You guys will head out on horseback. And John will some encounter dice. Just the one, though. Let's see if you get unlucky and get attacked by the undead riding boars. That is a 36 on a 2. Alright, 2 things are going to happen on the 30th of this month, fellas. And John needs to change the music. One of them is going to be a boar stampede, where the boars in great number are going to chase after you and your horses. I'm going to let you guys choose how you want to go about this, or solve this problem. Otherwise, some people might get knocked off their horses, and those horses may get eaten by boars. So, as a
I mean-
reminder, you have Ricardo, a commoner and civilian, who has like 5 hit points, if that, in your company. But currently, you guys are traveling south across the Elithil steppes when boars, in a strange manner, getting pushed to predation, see you and your horses and begin to gather and then charge after you. So my question is, what do we do, party?
I have a very typical wizard solution.
My good
Would
friend
you like to
Snap
cast
Root.
Fireball and see what happens?
Sure, I will try to cut off the stampede with a fireball.
That sounds
Okay.
hot.
I would like you to give me an Arcana check to see how many you're going to hit. Even, I'm pretty sure minimum damage with a Fireball. No, that would be 8. I do want you to roll damage, though. I do want that.
Which do you want first, the Arcana or?
Do the damage first, and then we'll do the Arcana. As John finds chase
Okay.
music. Oh, there we go.
So
Okay.
25 damage.
I think the average of a boar is 13, 12, 14?
And 23 for Arcana.
All right, you're going to be hitting a fuck ton of them. Who else is contributing to dealing with this boar infestation and problem? Average is 11. Okay. So, on a
As
pass.
much as I would love to help, I don't have any area of effect spells yet.
Well, you can help non-spell, right?
I guess I am a Kensei monk, and I have a longbow on my back. Like, I suppose I could brace myself and just start shooting key-infested arrows at, like, stragglers, right? Like, as he blows up a huge swath of fire, like, any of them that, like, charge through or miss, I can just pick off. And we'll try to make it where, like, you know how, like, they'll, like, go around, right? Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I'll try to take anybody that goes through, but then the fireball, they're gonna, like, run around us and then, like, let the charge pass. And I'll be a guy that picks off stragglers.
Okay.
I
Give
guess-
me a... we're gonna resolve this one at a time, Red. I'm so sorry. I'm giving you more time to
You're
think, I
absolutely fine.
guess. I want a ranged attack roll. Or I suppose
Okay.
you have extra attack now, don't you? Or no?
No, I have to level up. I need, like,
Okay.
441 experience.
Well, you might get that after this. Make your ranged attack roll, and then I want... I suppose a sleight of hand check from you, a dexterity one. As you try not
Okay.
to fumble your quiver while on horseback.
Okay. That is a 23 with the longbow.
Alright.
And the sleight of hand is a 6.
6.
I'm not really good at horseback stuff.
You know, it makes sense. You're in bear forest country all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Quite effective with your shooting, but your rate of fire is not what it could be. Or rather, not as great as it could be. I'm gonna jump now to Red, who was talking last. Red, how are you contributing? Or rather, how is Dizem contributing to this problem?
You know, Dyson's gonna take out his bell and start furiously ringing it while pointing at any boar that gets close to the horses and then casting Toll the Dead on them.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. You start shooting off your Tolling the Dead. Essentially trying to scare them, but I don't think that would be intimidation. Give me your... No, that's just based on a saving throw. I need something from you. I'm not going to roll your dice, alright? Guys, help me and dice them out here.
Would that be animal handling?
Wisdom
Oh,
check?
does Dizem not have access to his sheet?
No, I...
Do I have access to my sheet? Toll
I
the
could
Dead
see-
I
is a
don't have
saving
access to
throw spell.
Dizem's sheet, so I can't cast it.
Wisdom plus
Toll the Dead is a
proficiency is
saving
kind of
throw.
the inverse of the saving throw thing, right? Make a spell attack.
Yeah.
I can
I
roll
like
a
animal
d20 and you
handling,
can just-
though. Give me an animal handling
animal
check
handling?
here, Dyson. As
What's your
you're-
animal handling, Dizem?
I have my sheet.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Why
perfect.
were you asking us to roll for him?
I
He
wasn't-
didn't want to roll a save. He didn't want to roll a save, right?
Oh,
He
It's
wanted
not,
okay.
it's not a
something.
great roll. I'm not very good at animal handling.
You're not very good at animal handling checks. So your Toll the Dead is going to affect things no matter what, right? That or they won't, because it's a save or suck. So John didn't want to add what he rolled against the saving throw to the median, which I am building from all of your skill and attacks here. See just how successful you guys are. And thus I go to Bear Daddy. Bear Daddy. Verzale. how are you?
I think that I'm being big and intimidating to these little boars.
They better not
Like,
rush
do they
the
really
bear.
want to fuck with a bear? Like, they're gonna die,
Sometimes.
you know?
Sometimes they do, though. Some boars are so stupid. I've seen one get, like, struck by a rhinoceros trying to steal from it. And I believe rhinoceroses are scarier than bears, but maybe that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Mess with the bear, you get the paw.
I mean, rhinos are pretty scary, for sure.
I would like an intimidation from you if you're willing to give me one.
Is intimidating animals animal handling?
It could be animal handling, too, yeah? Okay. John's gonna do some math real quick.
I was thinking about doing something with the horses, but I'm canonically not good at horses. So
Yeah. 7 plus 17. That I miscounted. 23, 23, 6, 7, 17. Your median was 19. Oh my god, guys. With your combined skills and the T-posing presence, which is just so alien and foreign to these boars, they are unwilling to engage upon you truly. A fireball comes out, it scatters them, allowing both Dizem and Glynis to pick off the stragglers who continue to run forward. And then, when some do get to you, they look up at a bear of a man who leaps downwards and, like, roars at them in essentially a primal speak, telling them to get lost or suffer the fate of all creatures who challenge a bear. And they flee. They flee immediately, guys. They don't get anywhere close to the horses. They don't cause any complications at all for you all. Oh, you've just killed at least 30 to 50 wild boars. Congratulations. We did it. We got to a joke. The joke attack. Yeah. Oh.
And this is why we don't need fireball control in Livistio.
True. We're gonna have a jump cut to Sunny finding this. Like, it's just, you guys are nowhere to be found. It's just like 30 to dead, 50 wild boars. Like, I guess I'm going the right way. As you guys camp down for the night. Oh, what did I hit? Nothing. Perfect. Woo! One of you may have contracted lycanthropy. That doesn't really rhyme.
Lycanthropy.
Lycanthropy. We love lycanthropy. On the 30th, the full moon doth have risen, gentlemen. And John needs to focusing on Greg for a minute, or rather, Glennis. Glennis, my boy, my beautiful boy. Camping, your horses have been hitched or tied together, sleeping on the great open plains. Beside you, Ursale, bear man that he is either on watch or snoring loudly like the animal he is. Then you have weak of strength, of arm, and of leg Snefru, the opposite of a marshal. And of course we have Dizem, who is currently snoozing or huffing salt water, seaweed, or just being stared at by two T-posing companions you possess.
I'd like to think that Dizem has like one of those, like, you know, like reptiles or fish that have those skin conditions that they just need to be wet, right? Like Dizem just like makes salt water and just like is constantly sponging off his scales and stuff. Like, just like, oh, gotta get more salt water.
The real
Does anybody
problem.
have chlorine? Sodium. I need sodium chloride. Glynis, on the 30th, you have a dream. You
Have a dream.
dream of electric grizzly bears. Of regular grizzly bears. Trundling through the woods, the great pine trees of a land to you known as Livistio. Spring has come. You sense it. All the animals are waking up. This is your land. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Do you want to know the DC before you roll it?
Nah.
Okay.
I got a
Greg's a
17.
gambling man.
This is
Gotta know when to hold them.
your land, Glynis, and as you begin to trundle down in the perspective of a grizzly bear, rather than the great wilderness, the creeks filled with all the ocean salmon and all that other good shit bears love to eat, you see a city in the distance, filled with light of torches, oil lanterns, maybe a bonfire, maybe the tailors and the boat makers are having another barbecue, much like the one Felix prompted on accident a while back.
It probably smells really good, actually. There's barbecue like wafting from the city.
Oh yeah, it smells
Start
great.
drooling a little bit.
But there's too many people, and even the dumbest grizzly bear knows that humans doth bring trouble. And as the bear's perspective turns back towards the wilderness, the wild, yours stays focused on the city, on the distant castle, and the many lights that are beginning to increase in luminosity. And as you finish having this nice dream, come morning, you are in your clothing, in your sleeping bag, looking at your friends, not naked, having turned into a werebear, and gone to do whatever werebears do.
Sick.
Yes. As a point, however, your arm that was bitten by the bear mother herself. So many mother deities in this game, guys. We need to get more sons and princes before Freud comes in and asks me questions. I wouldn't say it has festered or has been infected. It was treated the day you got it. However, it seems to have scarred more intensely, and the hair growing around it, almost as if to offset the marking it gave you, has grown in intensity. Like, you just have a massive patch of, like, arm hair growing around the scar tissue now. And it is...
I mean,
yeah.
I am a hairy dude.
Hairy dude. Hairy man. Glynis, the half-elf.
I guess I'm a half-elf. Are half-elves a hairy? Probably not. That probably does stand out a little bit, actually. Glenn is probably not hairy like Greg, but now has Greg's arm just attached to him.
You'd ask your family physician.
All of you wake up and can resume traveling or having any scenes you all might wish to have. I don't want to just teleport you across the Elithil steppe here.
I don't think this is something worth sharing in Glynis's mind. This is something to be dealt with another time, perhaps. But it gets filed away in the to-do laters, I think.
Okay.
Glynis tries to decide whether or not he thinks his hairy arm is worth shaving, or if it's just like, I'm just gonna have a fucked arm for a while. And I think he decides on just, we're good. I'm wearing peasant's clothes anyway. Like, I look a mess.
You all continue on your journey. At any point, if you guys wish to speak with one another or communicate, please tell me. Don't wait for John to, give you that opportunity. But seems like for now...
I think...
Yeah, go for it.
I think Snefru would constantly interrogate Dizem about the Necroprancer.
Well,
I think it doesn't have to be a scene, but it's just constantly something Snefru's doing. If he's not working on that book he's been working on.
it's very straightforward. He was a necromancer with the head of a horse.
That's not straightforward at all.
I'm gonna have to agree with Snefru on this.
Thank
Okay.
you.
How is that not straightforward?
First part, Necromancer. Very rare.
Okay.
Horsehead.
Counter argument.
Extra odd.
We just went to a tower with a spatial dimension with a witch who can cast just lightning bolts.
Yeah, that's normal.
But a guy who can raise the dead, that's out of the picture?
No. There are necromancers, but I come from a place of arcane towers. Rian is not. She's very powerful. Very, very big fan of hers. But you have a necromancer in the middle of nowhere with a horse head.
Who has lived as long as Rian, yeah. Very straightforward.
If you say so.
Not an elf, though. Very sure of that.
Oh, has he lived so long?
I think he's not alive.
See, this doesn't sound straightforward to me.
It's very straightforward. Maybe like there's arcane energy in the horse skull. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you how. He's a physician. I can't tell you. What
Wait,
he
you're
does.
not a doctor?
I'm a doctor in my own ways. Okay, I don't do what he does. I don't put on horse skulls. Okay, it's a different field.
Maybe you should try.
I think you're right.
You look up
Let's
a
give me,
horse
like, a
under you,
shark
Doxum.
skull.
Its
I
eyes
want a-
begin to
I want a
turn
horse
towards
skull.
you, like realizing what you're thinking.
You wouldn't.
Dizem hides his draconic visage and tentacles behind a skeletal horse face like a plague doctor's mask. Now no one will know I'm different.
I look just like you guys under this.
I fit right in.
Still cloaked in seaweed. But yeah, no, very normal person. They're just a necromancer who's lived like thousands of years. It's not a big deal.
We will be diving into the future, but we must make haste.
You all make haste to the Tower of Rian. John moves our calendar to the next month as the 30th. Comes the 31st. Becomes the 1st. Surprisingly enough. The 1st of April.
April Fool's Day.
April
Everybody
Fool's
play
Day.
a trick on the prince.
I'm gonna hide Snefru's spellbook somewhere.
Where do you hide Snefru's spellbook dies on April Fool's Day?
I'm gonna put it in Glynis' satchel bag. They'll never
The last
expect it.
place he'd ever look.
You trust the prince enough.
Snefru, someone's stolen
This is when we
your book.
learn that the prince has already taken Snefru's spellbook because the prince is super excited about April Fool's Day. You wake up all with like stink bugs in your pillows and like all kinds of like childish bullshit. Except Yancey, who like somehow caught me and definitely like outpranked me somehow.
We'll have to ask when we'll retcon the entire campaign. You guys will make it to the Tower of Rien on the 1st of April. Springtime has come, gentlemen. It has been bleeding throughout the months. And although it is somewhat chilly, being like 60 to 65 degrees in the early morning, building up to the high 70s. Man, we don't have to do Celsius conversions anymore, huh? Alright. You all will cross the river, across the bridge, and notice that the camp outside of Brenyo is gone. The Neordians have moved.
Interesting.
God.
You
Strange.
cross over the bridge. This fortified camp is also gone because you hired everyone and sent them to Camp Bringo Dingo, or Camp Dingo. What do
Camp
we do?
Dingo, the opposite of Camp Ringo. There's no peace and love here.
Party. You make it to Lower Rien. What do we do? Your boat has been sent home on its own? Question mark?
I
Or
thought
did
we
you tell
told
them to wait?
Diep
I thought
Humphreys
he
to
was.
wait for us.
I thought he was chilling in the tavern.
Oh. See, this is
The
the problem
captain's
with John
in
tracking
favor.
too many NPCs. Sometimes he forgets where they are and what they're doing. Let me find out if he is still here. Because this may be a legitimate question. He is still here. However, he's been hurt, guys. You will come into the tavern, where there are some big, strong men, as well as the 2 boatmen that you have hired, or rather, the state has hired, to sail your magical boat south or northward up to this area. And he, holding a hand to his head with a great big growing welt, will look to you all and say, "Hey guys, somebody threw a brick at me. I'm glad you're here."
Oh. How did that come about?
I don't know, honestly. I think I have a concussion. However, they said, "Get gone, Livistio knave," and then they tossed a brick, and it critically hit me in the head, which is what I'm going to choose this Nat 1 to be. Who are you? He asked at Glynis, who is talking. You're not the prince. The prince wears way better clothing.
Oh, I had to go on a little bit of an expedition with
You didn't
through
sell
the,
your clothing, did you?
Oh no, I didn't sell it. I traded it.
Oh no. That's who I thought you were, he said. Oh no, we have a fake prince on the loose, guys! He starts crying out of his one good eye.
Do you need like?
Can we go home?
Shield?
Can we just
We
leave?
are most definitely going home. Yes.
We just-
I'm sorry that you had this misunderstanding with a brick. We will tend to your head as well we can, Mr. Humphrey.
He
But
starts.
let us return to the castle.
No.
We do have to wait for Son of Sigus.
Oh, correct.
Sigus.
He should be here. He should be here momentarily, or in the day.
I'm sure Sonny is going to be very excited to get on a boat. That's going to go great.
You guys will wait for the Son of Sigus and also pack up the boat and all of its things. In the time you were gone, DM Humphrey had hired some strongmen to, like, escort him, for while he was healing. He got injured essentially 2 days ago. So 4 days after you guys left. And it just was a really bad brick attack. Poor guy, honestly. Just poor guy.
Poor guy.
He goes to lay down after like 5 minutes of staying awake. Dizem, if you want, you can spend a Cure Light Wounds to heal him. Or Cure Wounds, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I am gonna expend the spell slot of Cure Wounds on this guy.
Oh, Dizem, you have made a friend of DM Humphrey today. He tells you.
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Thank you so much. I would take a brick in a heartbeat from the prince.
You know, it's just sometimes a good brick gets us. But what's important is that we keep on going. We throw bricks back.
It's true. Alright, well, he says as he starts getting up to reacquaint himself with reality. Towards that afternoon, Sonny will indeed miraculously show up, not explaining how he tracked you to the building you were in, but he has.
Sick.
Indeed. He's got his big stick, he's got his traveler's clothes, and he's apparently just, like, eating boar that has been cooked from the fireball.
I wonder how. Mysterious, really.
Yeah, mysterious barbecue showed up in front of him, and he's like, oh, delicious. But in town, he looks incredibly nervous, and just due to the way he stands, clearly not as socialized as one could be. He draws much attention of like, what the hell is this guy doing? Why is he creeping around like a lizard man?
Yeah, I guess like that's pretty obvious to everyone. And so I'm itching to get back anyway. I'm probably kind of hustling DF Humphrey to the docks and being like, let's pay everything and let's get it skedaddle, right?
You pay a tab. You make assurances to yourself one day you'll pay off that loan.
I mean, yeah, look,
auntie.
First things first, we gotta, like, not die in war, and then we can, like, make some money.
Yeah. Death in war forgiveness has been assured as part of the loan.
Yeah.
You hop onto your boat and start heading south.
Linus, what if
Yes,
the...
Dyson.
So, the conditions is, you die, the loan's forgiven.
I don't
What if
think
you-
that dying and then being resurrected or revivified or in some other way returned to health would enact that clause. I think being that this loan is from a powerful sorceress, it is likely that the loan would be reinstated, perhaps with interest, for magical fakery. But I appreciate the thought. It is quite devious.
I just want to put the option out there. I'm
I-
always
you
willing
know-
to put you down and take you and bring you right back.
Good to know. But I don't need putting down anytime soon. Hopefully, preferably.
How's that microdosing going?
Really great, man. You should try it.
So good. I get so much work done. You don't even know.
As you guys talk about your microdosing and loan repayments, Sonny will actually take quite well to water, almost toppling the boat as he realizes that he can move to one side very quickly, then to the other side really quickly, and get like some swaying action. But once you guys tell him to cut that shit out, he will stop and just sort of chill and experience stuff.
There's just like 4 sailors barfing their guts out over the sides after like a couple minutes.
However, as you guys head southbound, this is where we're going to take our first break. And
All right.
potentially head to Camp Dingo or see what's going on there before making our way back to Livistio. So
That
everyone,
seems smart, yeah.
we will
Nice.
be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you so much for your patience. This drone changes the music. You all get on your boat and start sailing south. Boom. It is beautiful, beautiful day. As you all make your way going down a river, John's making sure. How long did it take? Like 2-3 days to get here? I think it was 3.
Like 2 or 3 days.
And it will likely be only half a day or maybe 3/4 of a day to get down to Camp Dingo. Water soundtracks. Got so much sad music and jazz music and combat music. You're telling me I don't have one water track? There we go.
You want one of us like blow bubbles?
Yeah, blow bubbles in real
water.
life for me real quick. There we go. As you guys make your way to Camp Dingo, you will find okay. I understand now what I wanted to do here. You will find a single boat. You will find also the crew of 4 that were manning it, who look to you in surprise as your boat comes into the little inlet, which you all were told about by Captain Dingo himself, to get here. And many of these free settlers who were pushed into this war or conflict by the Neordians will look at you in confusion and say, "Oh, Your Highness, right?"
Yes. My name is Glennis, Crown Prince of Livistio. I don't believe I have met each and every one of you. Thank you for your efforts in this war. I was hoping to make a quick stop, I suppose, and see the war efforts, relate news on my return trip to Livistio.
Well, there's some good news. They tell you. We managed
Excellent.
to sink a ship.
A Neordian ship.
Yes. They say with some hesitation.
So, who did we sink?
I'm not sure. We got told to stay here. To, watch the camp and whatnot. The Neordians haven't come down in full force yet, but the captain, the guy training us, was like, "Oh, hey, a ship. And then, let's go practice what we've been teaching you for the past week." And then
I see.
most of the boats left. We still don't know how to row properly, or to what he wants us to. And the others are out foraging right now for food stuff and, camping materials. But, yeah. Things are going good.
Well, excellent then. I'm glad to hear, I suppose, that practice is being made, and that we will be ready when the time is right to harass and defend your countrymen and your way of life from these Neordians.
Yeah.
I have news of, or at least have some news of the battles to come. It seems the camp outside of Rien to the north, the Nordians has moved. It seems they might be gathering their forces. Your time might be sooner than you were expecting, or perhaps right on time. If you are already sinking boats. But it seems that things are heating up. Movement is happening amongst their forces.
Okay, well. This man looks a little bit uncomfortable when you tell him that his time may be coming up. It's like, oh yeah, I guess we are fucking militants, huh? Looking at his buddies. Maybe getting a little bit of cold feet.
Okay. Greg doesn't know how to inspire people. I mostly make people depressed. But Glynis is a prince. So I think that Glynis spends some time here, like, noticing cold feet amongst his would-be militia. And maybe we stop for people to come back and go, like, I'm not, like, gonna have a rally or anything, but, like, try to lift spirits and remind them of, like, why they're fighting and what they're fighting for. And pump up the crowd, so to speak. Get the blood to boil once more.
Yeah. Give me a persuasion check here. Let's give it a numerical value of how good you are at riling people up.
Alright. Absolutely.
Greg is great at riling people up. We'll see if he's great at inspiring them.
There you go. That is a critical 22. The prince himself has personally come to you to make sure that you are jazzed and pumped.
We're gonna make our own nation, they state. You like that? We're
the nation of Dingo.
Of a nation of Dingo will rise, they shout. Some of the foragers come back and are like, what? Hang on, wait, we're making a nation? Yeah, we're gonna make our own nation, we're gonna kill Njord, and we're gonna take it over. It's like, hell yeah! We need a king! The king! One of them, like, tries to grab your hand. It's like, Felix immediately just T-poses, cartwheels in. Just, don't touch my prince. It goes exceptionally well here, Glynis. You managed to, like, strike every mental key point this guy has in his brain to just activate him.
Sleeper cell activated.
Yeah, sleeper cell activated. Now he's a patriot. A patriot to no nation. You all can stay here and wait, or maybe even participate in the training, or you can continue to head southward on the northern Altheros River. What would you all like to do?
I think we gotta get back to the capital.
My intention is to get back to the town. I would. Okay. The only reason I would wait a day is not to participate in training, but if more than just one person has cold feet, right? If it seemed necessary to hit the broad notes for the whole contingent. But if it was more like these four are kind of the duds that never learned to paddle and everybody else is chilling, well, now we've got these four back going, so descent's probably not something that we have to worry about and move on.
I think you got him. You did a great job with this.
You have done a great job. You head southward then, after the duds and the extras, because you recruited more men than you have boats for, right? So there are people who have just been relegated to essentially supporters. It's like, you were going to support the camp, and we're going to figure out how to make more boats, and blah, blah, blah. Dingo seems to be managing, I would consider him a 3 to 4 out of 6 leader, If you had, like, a scale of 1 to 6, 1 being awful garbage and just the worst. And then you had like a 6 being like Alexander the Great. Definitely a 3 to 4 here.
All right. Very competent man.
Yeah. Who you will find as he and his small flotilla intercept your boat while you were heading southbound after he has intercepted a different boat. Just while heading south this day. As soon as he boards and you let him board because you recognize him, he will come up and say, "Oh, give me your money!" "Oh, hey, your highness!" How's it going?
It is quite well. I see that the men are learning many a wonderful tactic from you.
Yes.
And I smile. Say, you know, I'm just gonna let this slide. If this guy is gonna pirate like crazy, these guys are probably going to end up almost all giving their lives or something, or being kind of pretty much broken up by the main force. If it makes them happy to pirate and plunder for a couple of weeks, I am gonna turn a blind eye.
It's war, baby.
Okay.
Stuff
Then
happens.
he need not make any excuse as you inadvertently or intentionally turn a blind eye.
I think I give him the wink and the nod, like, I know what you're doing, but, like, right now, I don't care. Alright?
Uh-huh. Okay. You let the pirate man lead your illegal army, I suppose, to piracy and continue
This is
southbound.
an officially state-sanctioned army. These are not pirates. These are, in fact, privateers. These are Glynis's privateers.
Hey. I'm gonna
Civil
move us back
War.
to the Livistio.
Your dad had some, so you need some too.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we're gonna have the dingo versus I can't remember the
Gilligan.
name off the top of my head.
Gilligan.
Gilligan. Yeah, we're gonna have the dingo Gilligan face off for privateer supremacy.
Dingo, the pirate king of Dingo Nation.
Indeed. As my map loads in, oh god, it's so fuzzy. We haven't been here in years. Load map. It's loaded on the other one. Come on, there we go. You all make your way south, and for 2 days... See, here's the good thing about having your own pirates, though. You can't be attacked by other pirates, because the other pirates are too busy dealing with your pirates to actually attack you. And you have more pirates than they do. And honestly,
I have a lot of pirates, yeah.
river pirates are honestly not that great of fighters, because if they were great fighters, they wouldn't resort to being river pirates. They'd be real pirates instead. It's the tier list of river or just piracy, I suppose.
Still above swamp pirates.
Yeah, God, not the swamp pirates. Don't talk about them. They actually invert, and they're actually the toughest. Because you can't.
Look, if you can sail in a swamp, you can sail anywhere. Like, that's
True.
the top tier level of boating.
Like, we have a storm in the bayou, boys. Here come the army of alligators flying a hurricane.
Boys, send out the alligators. They're coming for our booty.
You make your way south along the northern Alferos River. And you will eventually make it back to Livistio. Hopping on the north side. Damn. John's eyes hurt. Or rather, the south side is where all the docks and the storehouses are, so you'll probably continue traveling. And then pop out once your boats are safely and securely docked. As you all get out... Oh my god, my eye. What is happening? Oh, excuse me. Joe needs to move down
Hopefully
a
your
bit.
dad is more pleased and doesn't put you in prison this time.
That would be ideal, honestly. I agree.
No, you should be happy. You did excellent work, my prince.
I feel... Thank you.
You
I
mentioned
feel quite
pirates.
accomplished.
We just
We're
do
gonna have to
cut
find a way to get blood
Glynis being
samples from
thrown in
everybody.
jail. Just the jail door closing.
Glitch just has sad face.
Yeah. You guys make your way back to the castle, which on our map is apparently 40 miles long and 40 miles tall, or 20 miles, 20 miles tall, but is in actuality quite small. John still won't bring us to the map, however, because we don't need it. You will be stopped at the gate because you do not look like the Crown Prince, even though you have all of your friends. One of which... no. Never mind.
I assume that, like, Felix and his, like, full regalness could, like, be like, yo,
for sure.
hands off, we're going through.
It's just...
Also, like,
Felix can't talk right now. So
That's
he's
fair.
like... See, T-poses at a guard. It's like, what
Guys.
the fuck is happening?
Let us
Glitch didn't
through.
die.
This is the prince. He needs new
He didn't
clothes.
die. This isn't just like a replica person we found. We just dressed up and brought over here. Like, he's fine. He's right here with
As
us.
you do so, and are still holed up regardless of, like, whose identity you all claim, Brogvarsh comes out, actually, of the main gate, guarded and escorted by a knight, who will look to you all. Did you give Brogvarsh a code word like you did for another NPC to ensure that he wasn't the shape changer? Who was in the
I
knowledgeable
don't
ring?
believe that I did, because I did not give him one of my, like, you know, best friends forever heart necklaces that I gave everybody else. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he's just on good faith. Unfortunately.
On good faith, Brogvarsh will, say, if you are truly your highness, you will not mind this next test. I apologize for any inconvenience this might cause you all. And then he will tell everybody to line up in a neat and orderly line. And then the guard will produce a large cast iron pot. Who wants to go first in the party currently?
Me.
Snafu!
I was going to be
Never-
really happy if he started moonbeaming us. It would have been really funny.
He will do something less costly. He will put this great big iron pot on your head, Snafu, knocking off your hat, and then he'll take a crowbar and just hit it full strength. Your head and world shake for a moment, Snafu, and he quickly takes it off and he looks at you really intently. And he's going to make a perception check against you. Rolling a natural 13 and realize it is you. Snafu, good. Now for the others! And Brogvarsh, looking like a madman, with a strange light in his eye, will say, who wants to go next?
I suppose we will all volunteer.
Yeah, I
Glenn
feel
is-
like Ursula, you really want to.
I'm not sure this method is going to work on me.
I
Can
will
he even
lie.
reach that high, the little man?
He's like,
Well, I guess
Ursula,
it on top
you're
of your
good.
head.
We know that you're immune to being shape-changed. Because you look like a fucking freak and no one would be able to replicate what you look like.
Pretty
No.
rude, man.
After
Why you gotta
doing
be
some
like that?
iron pot checks, and realizing that all of you maintain your form after suffering 1 point of thunder damage, which is what this technically is, Brogvarsh will say, oh my gosh, thank goodness you are who you say you are. Welcome back, Your Highness. And Felix.
Thank
and
you for the
Ursale.
caution, Anointed One.
Yes.
I must
I feel like-
ask, have things
like you forgot a
devolved
name.
so in my absence that such greeting is required at the gate?
Yes. But this is no time to talk outside. There are potentially
Excellent.
ears out there. Come here.
Sonny, this man's gonna put a pot on your head and hit it.
He needs not strike Sonny.
Ah.
This is our companion from outside the walls. We can all vouch for his inability to have become the shapeshifter.
If you say so. God, what does Sonny do? Where does he go? I guess he goes to hang out with Felix in Felix's room for now, as they are both fighter boys. And we need to talk about what Sonny is going to do for you in the Band of the Unicorn.
Well, my general thought is we kind of talked about him being like an off-screen fighter boy. That's what your like intention was, right?
Yes.
So I think he can like. I'm essentially building an army in my sister's territory, right?
Mhm.
Led by the Boolean kind of mercenaries of Muscle Mommy, and I think he could join. I think he could join there. I think it would be like kind of away from city, which would help him, and like. You know, his strength could be an asset, right? Like maybe we take a day maybe to
We'll
like
talk about
introduce
that.
them.
Once
Yeah.
you get caught up with the castle going on.
Sure.
You have been gone for the better part of a month, and as those two go off-screen, Yonsei on-screen continues to follow, but will still be T-posing. When did you guys leave, exactly?
Korean?
You guys left on...
We got back on the 2nd.
You left on the 16th. You got back on the 4th of April. So you guys have been gone for roughly almost 3 weeks now. You will find out that some things have occurred, like how all things occur, in your absence. Brogvarsh will take you to the little library that you had your first meeting in, and will quickly tell you, Glynis, your father, an attempt has been made on his life, as predicted. I believe you shared that with me, yes?
Yeah.
It turns out the prisoner that you brought, whose background was looked into by Gunnar, and then Gunnar disappeared, was the shape-changer all along, for unless the shape-changer physically consumed and obliterated him, for the prisoner is now gone. He broke out, and in the night, while your father was speaking with Bryce Bronson during their, after supper meal or hangout, whatever they do. The assassin, the shape changer, tried to kill them both, but was struck by a table and then fled.
Was struck by a what?
A table.
Somebody threw a table.
Somebody threw a table at him, and whether I can only speak of the facts, I suppose. I won't assume anything from that creature. It fled. It left. It found a wall and then teleported out with what we assume was the Misty Step spell. One I hear is quite common amongst spellcasters, anyway. Or at least fey creatures, which the thing appeared to be, as we took a look at it. What we assume is its true form. Yes. Your father is alive, mostly unharmed, but he was injured, I suppose, a little bit in the scuffle. He is currently in his chambers under security. This happened a few days ago.
Who threw the table?
Assumedly, well, I'm not sure. That was what was described to me. I will not speak to anything less than what I truly know. I do not wish to... my supposition or subjective view of things to taint your minds from this.
I see. It sounds as if there might be something more going on, as a lot of couching of words here and
Yes.
suspicion being thrown. And what else has happened?
Indeed. Your mother, the queen, and the princess, your sister, along with, I believe your uncle Pneumolia, have decided to go to Zwan rather than stay here. I know not when or where or how, but this is what I've been told by your father.
Okay. A wise course of action, I suppose. A coming war and a possible shapeshifter to attack, now that it is not a secret and in the open, leaving to Zuan, where they can be protected by family, seems appropriate.
Yes. Aside from that, we've heard rumors of river piracy, which we can only assume are the Neordians preparing to attack. Just, clearing traffic.
So about that,
what?
yeah, let those pirates are chill. Actually, just let them do their thing for a while, and it'll all work out. They may or may not be 600 strong and well funded and training to attack Neordian vessels.
Oh. Well, it's not my place to interject about foreign policy. He mutters to himself. I see you have a new companion, he says, looking at, or having seen, your boy,
yes,
Sonny.
Sonny. He is a interesting person that we have met. He felled a Neordian princess with naught but a large stick
Not
and
the one
repelled
we
an
know,
invasion. Right? No, I don't think so, but I don't know for fact. This one seemed to be leading an army, which our friend at least presented to not have the constitution for.
I see.
But I thought his strength perhaps a valuable asset, and offered to pay him for any efforts against the Neordians in the coming war.
I see. Well, I am not in charge of household staff nor military matters. I've been instructed to ensure no magical trickery goes unaccounted for, I suppose, as we worry about the security of His Highness.
On that grounds, I have a question. You're our acting medical officer, yes?
Unless it involves alchemy, in which case there's another, your potion maker, or your father's potion maker, excuse me, I did not mean to.
Well, Anointed One, upon visiting Rien, I have learned a way to distinguish shapeshifters that may perhaps have a chance to be more subtle than an iron pot to the head.
Oh,
Um,
please tell.
Apparently, if their blood is set in a small bowl away from them, it will move. It will attempt to rejoin the host. If there were a need to perhaps check everyone's blood, perhaps the prince who pulls at his clothes has contracted and brought back some sickness, the peasant pox or something. You might need to test it clerically or druidically for contaminants. The people that he accidentally exposed the whole castle to, today after I leave here.
Yes, this makes perfect sense. Bloodletting, I suppose, is common enough practice. Yes, we
would have the opportunity to collect samples from most of the castle, if not all of it, and clear at least a number of our would-be allies.
Could you do
if we
me
do find it,
a favor, and in this coming day, just go ahead and cough on everyone so I can make this excuse?
yes, I will be a walking biomass or bio-terrorist here for a little bit.
What's a
I'm
terrorist?
Good at that.
Yes, this week.
Someone text Hen and say, Hen, we need Yancey to cough on everybody dressed as Glennis.
Get double the power, yeah.
Is this okay?
We just have two Glynisses walking around the castle with like rings around their eyes, just coughing on everyone.
Oh no. It's just like, he keeps coming back. Where is he coming from? I closed one door and he's behind it. Okay. Well, unless you have any news for Bogvarsh, or Brogvarsh, excuse me, he is ready to let you all go.
What wall did a guy teleport through?
He was on top of the wall and teleported outside. And then he ran.
Ah, I see.
What do I need?
Was he seen running into the woods?
Yes.
I have a question for Brogvarsh that I guess could use answering. Is there a history or a tradition of the Bear Mother's followers to take on the dreams and the forms of their worship?
He looks to Ursale as though he is like physical evidence of this being the case. Ursale is just nodding his head like...
me.
I will say
yes.
I dreamed of the Bear Mother's awakening some, I guess it would be 6 days ago. Seems that she shuns the city for the moment, focuses upon the wilderness.
I see. You can see like he's beginning to like tear up, as though this is like the best news that he has ever heard in his entire life.
The city is what you are for, Prince.
I could not agree more. You're doing well, Brogvarsh. I am pleased to see that you have taken such a aggressive stand for our city here. I will do my best to cough on as many people as I can. And I turn around and I'm like, "Oh, where is the king being held? I feel I must probably report in."
He is in his chambers, under, I don't know what the excuse is, honestly. I've already forgotten the PR bullshit that he throws at people. Apparently he misses his wife,
Excellent.
and that's why he's there, rather than any other reason.
He is well known to be soft-hearted amongst the folk. I am sure that this is meted favorably by the people. Thank you, and I will kind of like leave him to fend with, I don't know, new knowledge and go find the king, I guess.
You go and look for the king. Do you take anyone with you?
I guess as we like walk out, I will invite anyone who wishes to come. I say I'm sure that the king must desire to hear of our exploits, but if you have other matters to attend to in the moment, this would be, go see to them if unless you are interested in meeting my father.
Is he injured?
I don't think it's a good idea to have you cast spells on him, but I appreciate the thought.
Always here.
Thank you.
I think Ursale will lag behind and maybe try to talk to Brogvarsh separately.
I'll go with the prince.
Dies him.
I'm just gonna go to like my room and start tossing things in a pot. Good for
Wait,
that.
what? What did you say?
I'm gonna go back to my room and start tossing things in a pot.
Tossing
He's gonna check on
things
his
into a
dwarf hand.
pot?
Yeah, he's gonna see if his shriveled dwarf hand is ready to throw in
Alchemy,
the pot.
baby.
Oh no. Okay.
Back at home.
Let's do the Brogvar scene, since that's like pretending to step and then just closing the door. It's like Glynis and Snefru dies, I believe. Ursala, you're now in a room alone with Brogvar, who comes up to you. Oh, the fucking royalty is actually beginning to believe. Isn't that fucking crazy, Ursala? Oh.
Yeah, that's great. But last time, you asked me to bring the prince to you, and then you, like, fumbled the bag entirely. What the hell was with that, man?
I don't remember it. I'm so sorry. So much has been going on these past 2 days. You're gonna have to forgive
All I
me.
know is you undermined me with the prince. Like,
Did I?
he didn't even come to me when he had bear dreams. Because he doesn't trust me because You can't be doing that stuff, man. If you ask me to do something, you can't make me look stupid when I do it.
I'm so sorry. I'm not married. Are you? I feel like I'm the wife in this relationship now, Ursala. Is that what's happening? Are we getting married? Are we gonna raise a couple of cubs on our own? I didn't realize I had to report to you. In fact, I
Well,
thought it
I
was the
mean-
other way around, since I'm technically the head priest. But okay. I'm not the archdruid that we both serve. Look, I get it. You're popular. All the tribe people love you. But here, these dumb fucks, they look at robes, alright? They don't check for muscle mass like we do. Which is clearly the best way to determine who the leader is. Obviously, if you have the most muscle mass, you are the leader. That is the way of the nature. But, here, we play by different rules, Ursala.
Listen, I respect your role in all of this. I want you to know that I'm expecting better. That's all.
Alright, well, I'm sorry. I'll seek your forgiveness and then go hunt down a shape changer, alright?
And
Also,
maybe we can raise
what if you
this
guys
cub
actually...
to be...
I'm so sorry, continue.
I was just saying that maybe we can raise some cubs together. These, the prince and his band.
Yes. It would be good. It would be nice to take over the other side of the river. He mutters to himself. We can get more bears on that side. Ugh. Anyway.
Everyone's an expansionist.
We have no
You know,
conservatism here.
we need more
just wish to
bears.
grow.
We're gonna take over the other side of the Alfaros for the bears.
We want to spread the bear. They used to live over there, okay? It's not fair. They were pushed out by demons and whatnot. Ugh.
Anyway, now that there's less pressure with the prince not being here, you want to share any of your thoughts?
Yes, I do. About what specifically, though? Because...
Well, you seem to have maybe more thoughts or speculation about what happened with the king.
I'm pretty sure Bryce Bronson hurled a full-blown 200-pound wooden mahogany table at the man who invaded his room.
That is fucking base as hell.
It's base, but also, he doesn't have the muscle mass to do that. So, I'm wondering how, first of all. Because it certainly wasn't Smiling Sam. Smiling Sam was away, trying to do something else, I guess. I don't know what Smiling Sam was doing, honestly. But I know it wasn't him. It had to have been Bryce Bronson, because the king's weak, physically, and magically. So,
Maybe there was a
unless the
third
king's
person in
been
the
hiding
room.
his true form this entire time, I don't know what to say. It was a 200-pound
All
mahogany
right.
table and it cracked in half, man. That was expensive. We don't even have mahogany trees here. It just keeps going on about mahogany. Other than that, there's been talks that Glynis himself was the one who planted the shape changer. I know this to be wrong and stupid and dumb, and it is purely supposition. But, you know... not you, obviously, but he literally brought the prisoner in and put him into the dungeon. How else could the assassin have gotten into our castle if not through that deception? Some people think, and the fact that you guys were gone when this all took place, as though you were...
Well, no offense, but wouldn't a shape changer have a reasonably easy time of getting in anyway? Getting in doesn't seem like the hard part.
Well, exactly, so why through the prisoner?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yes. Now, you wouldn't know this because you don't have access to the VODs, and there's no way that... I doubt. We would be highly suspect if Glynis was the one who planned this attack. And he told us all in advance his worries. However, not everybody knew or knows the fact. And now we can't really say, oh, he knew the whole time, because that would be even more suspicious, right? So, it's a very small minority, and your father, or not your father, Glynis, the king, has not said anything about it, and will likely not. But still, the idea was floated, and it gained some traction in more conspiracy-minded people of the court, who at least know what is going on. Aside from that, we have been using the Queen's, not disappearance, but vacation, as it were, as an excuse to keep the king secluded for now, so that no one else who might be a shape changer. So we don't have to put the iron pot on people or bleed them now. Essentially. We're saying he's super sad and he misses his queen and blah blah blah, like a child. You know.
Alright, well, thanks for the information.
Yes. Did he really hire an army of 600 people to raid the fucking river?
Yeah.
That's based as hell. Are you kidding me? When did... How? How did
I mean, the only thing that would have made it better if it was an army of 600 bears, but you know.
Agreed. Spellcasting bears. Brogvarsh will keep you here for a long time, or so. question you. And
He
get the
starts
details.
talking about how Rien saw the March of the Bears, and this like historical moment brings them both to tears. Oh, it would have been glorious to see the bears swim across the river.
Oh,
40,000.
Yeah,
60,000 their
strong.
number. It just keeps going up and up. At the end of a story, there's gonna be like some historian, and it was said 1.25 million bears swam across and repelled the demon invaders of the north. We're gonna jump to Dizem now. Dizem, what is going on inside that head of yours?
You know, I gotta check in that dwarf hand. That sun-dried dwarf hand.
Yeah.
I've just been sitting on like a little string in my windowsill.
Oh, if
Yeah,
it was
make
out
sure
in
all my
public, they would have
ingredients-
removed it.
Oh no, it's not a public. It's in my room.
Oh, it's in your room behind like a glass window pane where the sun is coming in.
Yeah, sun-dried.
There are
So
so
many flies.
many flies here.
No, it's fine.
Like, insects swarming, it stinks, it's awful.
It's almost ready.
It's
So
almost
close.
ready. Okay, what are you gonna do with this? Or are you still gonna let it fester?
Got a few more sessions before this is gonna be broken out.
Alright. And this is the dwarf hand from the man who was killed, presumably. by
Yeah, this is
Tofino
Felix's friend's hand.
Red. Okay,
Yeah, I asked
gotcha.
if he wanted it. He didn't want it.
Sounds good. Anything else you'd like to do, Dizem, or are you ready to T-pose and pass the time?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna lay in bed.
God, that's so gross. Glynis and Snefru, you head up to the king's chambers, where you can see that his bodyguard is currently posted outside the door. And for a moment, as he considers drawing steel on you, he calls out, Glynis, hello.
Hello, Sir Knight. I have heard news that my father, the king, is dearly saddened by the departure of his lovely wife and daughter. I was hoping perhaps he would see me anyway, as I have returned from his mission, and it seems we have much to discuss.
I will see if he is available. He ducks into the room for a little while, and then comes back out and look to you guys and say, yes, he is ready to receive you.
Thank you. As I step through, I pause for a second and I look, say, what does your sister do now that she's not chasing my mother through the castle?
She chases her through a field or a forest or some other place. She went with them.
Oh, I see. I shall add her to my nightly prayers. I pat him on his shoulder and walk in.
He nods along. Yep, do not envy her. Let me find a good song for this. Or rather, background track. You enter your father's chambers rather than having him come out to you. You see that he is dressed, as though he was in court, or were in court, in his finery. Even though it is, getting on in the day, he's just lounging, relaxing on a big armchair instead of his throne, and lo and behold, what you find, it's Bryce Bronson in the corner of the room, talking about stately craft and silencing himself as you all enter. There is also Smiling Sam, pouring out tea and being the butler that he is. pulling out 2 new chairs, specifically as you guys had entered the room. Your father speaks up first, Glynis, and says, "Hello, son."
Hello, Father. I apologize for the delay in returning. It was a long process, but I've returned. It seems I've missed much in my absence.
Not that you haven't warned us ahead of time about.
I see. Well, I am thankful that the creature did not succeed in its task. I suppose I should start by recounting my adventures to you. The Sorceress Rienne made it abundantly clear that she would not be taking any part in the conflict to come, Njord or otherwise. She decided that it was necessary to ensure each of us, there was a Prince of Njord that she spoke with as well, made oaths not to invade her island and be done with it. Instead, I asked her for assistance in another way. There were 600 men, young men of fighting age, who escaped the press gangs of the Njordian army, pushed from their homes. With Rienne's funds and assistance, I have created a small privateering group that is funded with boats and food, weapons, and a mercenary of some skill to train them. They are all to a man bounded by their hatred of Njord and the treatment of their loved ones by the oppressment of their army, and are happy to harass, sink, and otherwise delay the Njordian vessels should they sail, or when they sail, down the Alfaros to meet to make their invasion happen. I have also found a champion of the free cities, a son of the legendary Sigus, so we are to believe, but he felled a Njordian princess while they were trying to capture his city with naught but a stick. He's agreed to join in our war efforts, and I believe him to be a fearsome opponent on the battlefield. I think that gives good summary of everything we did.
Yeah.
I guess that ends my report.
As you say this, news about the Son of Sigus, you watch as, like, Bryce Bronson's eyes, like, truly focus on you for the first time. He taking notes of, essentially, this conversation of what you've been up to. As well as the clear, like, stoppage of Smiling Sam, who, like, was pouring tea and then just sort of holds the position and then also begins to slow down. And it's like, Sigus. Smiling Sam speaks out of turn. And is immediately,
I take that
like,
in stride. Oh, does the king not take that in stride?
The king immediately is like, "Control your servant, Bryce." And Bryce will say, "Smiling Sam, shut the fuck up. Come on, man. It's a royal party here. We're humble servants. Be like Snefru and stay silent." On a meta level, John needs to speak. Like, if I'm a dick to you guys, like, outside of roleplay, like, I want you to fucking hit me or something and just tell me to shut the fuck up, because that is... Oh, I felt bad saying that. Alright. Back to in character. Your father speaks up. More about the mercenaries and... I like what you have done. It is clever.
Thank you.
And you utilized resources not of your own, including manpower and money. If I can give you constructive feedback, or rather, let's not make this a lesson in conjecture. Let me tell you where you could have improved. Rather than outing yourself as the prince to this captain, you should have gone through a mediary, such as one of your followers. That way, when news breaks, for eventually one of these pirates or privateers will break and speak or get captured or interrogated, your name will be tied to them. You have declared yourself as who I assume you to be. He says, are you a shape? You're not a shape changer.
I have been hit over the head quite soundly by an iron pot. I believe I'm very safely not a shapeshifter.
Deniability will be key when you are king. Having others do things for you so that your name is not associated to them is important. I used Gunner to do things like that for me. When subtlety was needed, this elevated commoner who could be easily removed and gotten rid of when he got too deep was vital for me. I know not who you could get to do that. It would be quite funny if it was Yancey, though, he quickly suggests, under his breath. But in the future, if you are to hire anyone as a head of state, ensure that it is not you doing the hiring.
Sagacious advice, Father. I will take it to heart.
However,
Escalon like remembers his forgotten allies have just disappeared. Like, man, he had one of those.
You had one of those,
Yeah.
yes. Unless, of course, you wish to make a political statement. In which case, you have done so, essentially making your own private army outside of my city. Which we should speak of, for they've been out there for a month. If not 2 now. Should we speak of the adventurers in the cleared area of your sister's lands?
Oh. Yes. I thought it's a good idea to bring the forces we could muster from the south as close to the capital as we could, should the fighting commence. We were uncertain exactly when the spring would come. They've been preparing and helping us do so. We, before recent events, were agreed to keep our preparations silent, as if you were unaware of the pending shapeshifter attack and perhaps the war. And so I have done what I could to prepare our forces.
Yes, you have. However, they're too close. War is inevitable. An attempt has been made on my life. And if we create a full-blown object of resistance, then they will not attack that place. They will land somewhere else, either in the foothills, or they'll keep going south and attack Livistio, which we do not want because our farming and unwalled settlements we need to protect. We were hoping that they would attack here. The city itself, my castle even, which is outside of the city. Now that I am potentially injured, it only makes sense to try to kill the king, as it were, and get him out of play before it's too late. But if there is a reinforcing army literally right outside, why would they attack? I need you to tell your men to back off.
I will do so, Father. Shall we agree upon a location for them to continue their support of ourselves at? I would hate for them to be too far from the potential attack.
He looks to Bryson, or Bryce Bronson. Says, can they linger in your lands? Do you have enough to support that army? Because they keep making journeys and treks into our city to buy food. And Bryce will say, I don't, but Livistio definitely does. Have them go to the east.
Do I know the Lord Baron, whomever is in charge of Livistone, Count?
You probably would. Any of the rulers of the name settlements, you would definitely know. He just does not come out here too much.
More importantly, like, I didn't interact with them on my journey up from there, right?
Uh-huh.
Are they notably prickly in some way? Is, I guess, my thought, right? Because I might have to ride a horse out there to meet with the Duke and be like, hey, this is happening, and I need you to be okay with it, and, like, maybe do some parlaying.
Well, if it is that, then she should just go back to the Red Blades territory, or the Malo family's territory, if that is your concern.
I feel like that is quite far away.
It is, but
I will send them. I will send them to Livistone. I suppose send advanced letter to them. No, there's. They don't need to live there, right? This swamp, I say, pointing at a map that has been produced by Smiling Sam, because he's a freak that knows what's going on. There's this swamp to their east, cleared trees. Perhaps they can set up there, or perhaps across the river. Still have the chance to make ingress into Livistone for supplies, and be close enough to fight should the ships land at the kingdom, or should the ships carry farther to the east. They would be well presented to make a stand beyond the castle.
There has been growing animosity between us and the Froglands in that region. Sure, that makes sense. It's also close to that bastard Toronto. Oh. Or the bullying bastard that he is.
Speaking of Toronto,
yes,
there is a bounty on his head by the Paladins of Divinus. It seems he is suspected of demon worship, consorting with the infernal powers.
Your father laughs. Is he now?
Whether it's true or not, the bounty exists. I think it might be wise to capture him so that I, or a representative of the crown, should need be, could hand him to Divinus. I care not if what they do with him, but the funds could be advantageous.
The funds could, but I would never, as a king of a country, take a noble of Bullia or kill them to our state enemies, or at least rivals.
What if a mercenary band did it?
Well, that would be on that mercenary band's reputation. Now, not mine.
Hey, Sneferu, you think Sonny might be interested in a little demon hunting?
Well, we'd have to ask him. And probably not. I don't know if he'd go by himself.
Fair. I may have a solution, Father, but perhaps we'll wait until after this coming conflict resolves.
He nods. Okay. Well then, any other news that you should share with me?
Sorceress Rian expects an invitation to my eventual nuptials.
Over my... No, he starts saying...
I do have a question for Bryce, although it is not a royal matter. I could leave if you are in need of his services for the moment.
Bryce shrugs after being looked at by the king. Like, I can
All
answer any questions.
We have a mutual friend, Sephrin Mauro, lady of your guest house. I smile as I say that. She gave a gift to one of my men, and it took the sorceress Rian some doing to subdue it once we're removed. Have you received a gift from the lady?
No.
I give him a long stare down, and he's probably an experienced politician, and I don't catch him in a lie, but I try to ascertain whether he's telling the truth.
Yeah,
And
give me an
then
insight check.
Nod. Okay. Insight. A 13.
It doesn't seem like he's lying to you. I haven't
Yeah.
received any gifts. She is a guest of my house.
I see.
Did she give your
I
man...
thank you.
Like, what was this gift?
A ring.
Well... Did it hurt him? Did it kill him?
It almost killed Miss Rian.
I wouldn't say it almost killed her, but it did cost her several jars of honey.
Was it a bear summoning ring? What do you...
Apparently, a demon showed up.
A demon? Well...
This is what was reported to us, yes.
Huh. That is... concerning. I can... have her ladyship come here and explain herself, if you would like. But I can imagine what she would say.
I would prefer to perhaps take a more tactful approach than a direct questioning. I just was interested to know whether or not you may have had a gift from her as well. It would have been worth perhaps looking into.
No.
What I would hope is perhaps her ladyship stays at your guest house. I would not like to see her leave before we have the chance to get to the bottom of whatever it is she is up to.
Well, I will tell you that her family fled the Eldar Protectorate several hundred years back to 100-ish. Regardless.
Yeah.
I forget my own timeline. You must forgive me.
That's
her
okay. You're only
family
human.
could only bring the wealth they could physically
That
carry.
was such a good dig, John. I'm sorry.
No, I know. Yes.
That politician is feeling that sting. Okay, come on.
Yeah. Alright. Okay.
Sorry.
Regardless, she would undoubtedly say that her family's collection of magical items, she has no true control over. So, it may be harder to trap her into a place of responsibility.
I appreciate the insight. I have asked a few fair folk about her family name, and learned some myself. But I will not be able to turn my attention fully to Toronto and Mauro until after this ordeal is at least resolved. So I ask that she remain your guest for the foreseeable future, if you can arrange for such.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alrighty. He looks to the king. Your father looks to you, if there's anything else.
Sorry, you'll have to excuse me. My lungs have not quite been what they used to. I think I might need to lie down.
You hack and cough your way outside. The night even was like peeked his head in as he heard it. It's like, did somebody get stinking clouded? He shouted, who cast a spell? And you leave your father with Snefru.
I have prepared a written report for my prince. It does mark the location of a previous encampment of Neords that was missing when we went back through Rian.
So it's an out-of-date map.
No, it's a report. It's a written report of our travels and actions.
Oh.
And it lists the Neordian prince we did encounter and his retinue and my suspicions of them, and our encounters and debts with the sorceress and the privateers the prince has hired to train his refugee militants.
I see. The king looks to the elven manservant, who will collect your report if you wish to give it to him.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And he bows and backs out of the room.
You bow and back out of the room. Okay. Party. The world's your oyster.
Seems that the next step, at least in Glynis's mind, is I've got to get the fighting force in my sister's territory met up with Sunny, and then tell them of the need to relocate and the idea of relocating in this, like, east of Livistio near the swamp where, like, or either on the other side of the river. I don't know if, like, in the swamp is good or just, like, in this little side out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or down here, so that they're still close enough to come to the city, but that suspicion of an army so close might bait the attack still to hit our castle. Go over some plans, and then
we could have it listed as a military exercise in the swamps.
A military exercise in the swamps sounds great. Yeah.
Doing the whole grid thing. I'm seeing a pink line just fly across the map.
Well, that's
Yeah.
probably me then.
Okay. Gotcha.
Not gonna snitch on colors.
And then we can ask Sunny if he wants to go hunt a demon.
We must abstract all of that. After a very quick break, I need to step away for just a moment, guys. I'm so sorry.
Alrighty.
I know we're close to the
It's
end,
okay.
but I will be right back, everyone. Woo! Hello, everyone. We are back after that quick break. Hello! Guys, we are abstracting some time. One could say we're even doing downtime, if you wish. As we take things day by day or activity by activity. What are we doing? What do we need to do, I should ask?
Do any of you have anything in like that you want to do during downtime here? If not, I can do some troop movements because that's on my mind. But if you guys want to do some cool stuff, like jump in.
Personally, I'd like to see what Sonny can do. Like, we've heard a lot of talk of him caving in chests. We know he wields this huge 45-pound metal spike or whatever, right? It is an insane feat to swing that at any reasonable speed.
Yeah.
I'm curious to take him on a hunt or do something of the sort to understand, what he can do.
For sure.
And then I just have to finish my translations of my book and then drop it off with Marco.
Yes. Alright, no dice roll will be necessary for finishing your side quest with Marco. Let's just go ahead and say that takes... we'll say 4 days to finish off, since you're handwriting everything and you're doing all of your extra duties as well. You are still a court mage, and likely will be roped into activities, or be forced or obligated to give insight. We'll use a different color for you, Steffer. And this was to get what spell scroll?
He offered the Scroll of Non-Detection.
Yes. Please add that to... I'm forgetting something. Everybody take home 50 gold as well. You got your friendship money for this month.
Ooh.
Or last month, I should say.
Being paid to be your friend, Glynis.
I mean, it's the only way you'd stick around.
That is
Just
not
think
true.
of all the people who have left me. My bannerman left me. My co-conspirator in the greater good had left me. Felix is leaving. If the money just has to get better, clearly.
Gotta
True.
up that pension.
Yeah. Better
Oops.
retirement benefits.
We don't even get dental.
50 gold's a lot of money, okay? You can go to a dentist for like half a silver, okay? They're not a good dentist by any means, but you know, for the copper
But they'll rip
dentist
that tooth out.
Okay, please add the scroll of non-detection to your thing, and if you can spend the money to learn it, you will do so, because it's a scroll designed to be learned from. Honestly, it's not even like a true, what do you call it?
Casting scroll.
Yeah, it's not like this was designed with like notes of like how to actually cast this as part of it. The occultist, after all, although he is not magically inclined, for he does not have spell slots nor can learn, he does still try to learn magic and have that arcana proficiency. And in doing so, he essentially ruins a scroll, but still teaches you the magic. And it will work like
I'm
non-detection.
just doing the math.
It should be, what, 50 gold per level? Unless it's of your schools.
I think that's true. Of which I don't have any.
You don't have any money?
No, schools.
Oh.
I'm a war wizard.
War wizards, they don't get
The discount.
Yeah, they don't give a discount.
Snefru will become a miser and save, because I need another 70 gold.
You want some gold? You want some gold, Snefru?
Die some
My
of the
pride
money
will
banks.
make me say no.
Look. Magic's magic. I can give you some money.
Nope, my pride says no.
Okay.
Zephyr has pride,
I
dies
cannot.
gonna
I'm a
level up
proud
and
wizard.
detonate.
What was that?
That's all there is to it.
We missed the first part of that sentence, or at least I did.
I'm gonna level up and then detonate.
Level up and then detonate? Ah.
Oh. What's
How's it?
what's
That's all I
that?
said.
I think he's also going to get fireball. That's what it sounds like to me.
What? You don't get
Aw,
fireball?
you're
You're not that kind of wizard or cleric.
I'm not a light cleric. I don't get fireball.
One day,
That's
he's gonna get something much worse, which is called spirit guardians. Okay. And by much
this
worse,
session.
I mean scary. We have a insight check here from you, Mr. Barbarian, to get the most out of Sunny. I'm gonna say this is gonna be at advantage, because you will undoubtedly have help somewhere, or solely because you spend a lot of time with him. Sunny boy.
14.
Yeah. So, good old Sunny does not look strong. His height is the most that he's got going for him. But when you start to, like, ask him pointed questions of, like, do a task or let's go hunting, he will go hunting. And like a wild animal, just sort of take off into the forest and then, like, on his own schedule, come back before you. With whatever he has been told to hunt. He's not so much like a hound of let's go together and make this a social activity. It's like, you have given me an objective, I'm gonna go complete that, and I expect a reward. Very, like, simple-minded and task-oriented, we'll call it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'd have heard probably that he's interested in money and trinkets, and over the course of whatever time I spend with him, I'm willing to drop all of my 50 gold I just got from the prince.
He will take your 50 gold like, yes, this will become the first of many. He very rarely speaks. He believes that there is power within his words itself and just does not like talking. Aside from whatever magic created him, which you cannot possibly begin to guess at, it's just too arcane for a bear man, you would note that he is picking up this 45-pound quarterstaff with far too much ease, to the point where you don't believe it weighs the same amount as when he picks it up versus when someone else would. This may be a protect from user enchantment on it. Maybe it's attuned to him or someone like him, or he is supernaturally strong. And although he does not have the musculature like you do, as a, 17 or 20 strength barbarian? I don't know your strength, Ursale, but...
18.
An 18 strength person looks Herculean, right? This guy doesn't. He just does not have that musculature or structure. He looks athletic built. And now you're like watching him one-arm this thing and swing it around. So you're unsure if it's like a magical quarterstaff where it makes it feel like it's 45 pounds and it's a delusion, or if it actually is 45 pounds and he is just magically strong. But something's going on.
I think I'd try to gauge this a little bit, like, you know, that tree over there, go rip it up and see what he does.
He looks at this, like, massive pine tree and he's like, I'll need a shovel.
I give him a shovel.
You pay for a shovel.
I have a shovel, John.
Oh,
on my
he's gonna
character
keep
sheet.
your shovel then, and you're gonna need to buy a new shovel because it's his shovel now. He will go through the like half-day procedure of ripping a tree out of the ground, tirelessly like severing at the roots, physically pulling at them until he gets it done. But it's not I grab it by the fucking waist or, you know, by the trunk and then tear it off. He will destroy a tree.
Does, at the very least, seem supernaturally tireless, though, right?
Yes.
Like, this is not a normal thing that a normal being would.
Uh-huh.
And that's completely independent.
Yep.
But it doesn't necessarily seem as supernaturally strong as he does with his staff. Gotcha.
Yep. This person was clearly constructed to have this kind of endurance, we'll call it. But aside from that, you're unsure where or how he gets this power. At least from just straight up observing him.
Yeah, I think I try to figure out like how to. I try to understand what makes him satisfied a little bit as well along. So I don't know exactly. Maybe it's just confusing to me. Clearly, he wants currency for something.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I don't really have an idea of, like, does he want to go have beers? Does he just enjoy the hunt? Does he enjoy having any task to do that satisfies? Right?
From what you see, he is never satisfied. When you give him money, he just takes it. And he,
Interesting.
like a weird antisocial loser, does not go out for brews with the boys, and honestly thinks drinking's degenerate, and he does not want a part of it. His favorite drink is water.
Nice.
And I suppose he is more
He drinks
carnivorous.
water from like a 2-gallon milk carton and
Yeah,
eats only steamed broccoli and like broiled chicken.
I like this Black
The
Mirror y'all
wetter
put
the
me
meat,
in.
the better in his eyes. He does not, there's a reason why he was passing the sweet rolls around. Just like, no, you can have this. I don't want it. It's gross. It's filled with carbs. We need to eat liver right now. Liver and spinach.
Oh, God.
He's a fucking fitness bro. Is this what Sonny is now?
That's what it appears to be.
Okay. That is Sonny's traits, I suppose, that Ursale will notice. This weird half-man, half-monster. We jump to Galinus.
That's how you say my name. Yep.
What would you like to do, Mr. Galinus Marchette?
So I guess after the hunting is done, I want to introduce Sonny to the do we have a name
Lady Malo.
But Lady Malo is not in the territory. She has her man.
The sword?
Not like a man.
God, not sword holder.
Is Marcool there? Is that who's leading them? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. There is a mercenary sergeant who's essentially her right hand from her old mercenary band, who currently oversees it. His name is Billiam. Good old Billiam.
Billiam. Okay.
We love Billiam the mercenary.
All right, so I talk with Billiam, right, and I introduce Sonny, and I tell Sonny, like, these are the people that are going to help in the war effort, right? If you want to fight and you want to help, these are my trusted people that will help you do that. You don't seem to like the city, so if you stay with them, you'll be farther away from things that might stress you out. I suggest you join up with them, and I will come for you when we have tasks, or when Njord comes, right? We will be called, and then I don't know how well he takes that, but I spend whatever time necessary to see if that's okay with him, right? Like, hey, this is what I think you should do. Is that chilling? And if he's like, no, I'm staying in the city, man, it's like, all right. But like, I introduce them, and then I tell them basically what my father told me. It's like, we might. This took longer than I anticipated. I thought we might have to, be really close. But strategically, we think we should move your location. And I tell them about Livistio and like the swamp and that area. And I say I will write like a brief saying we're having a military training exercise there, right? Because we've had tensions with the Frogmarsh, I think you said before.
Froglands?
Froglands.
Yeah, they're like goblins but frogs.
It gives us a pretense for your people there. And if you need more monsters to wipe out, feel free.
Oh, that's great, because we have killed quite literally every single goblin in this entire mountain range. I'm fairly certain none exist anymore.
Well, I'm glad to provide you with some more. But I basically just give them the download, right? Like, that'll give us strategically a place where you can still get to the castle very fast, but it prevents a more juicy target for Njord. And I'll go through any logistics he needs to go through, right?
Yeah.
I ask about the morale of the men and all this stuff, but he seemed to be like so in control last time. Like, I'm basically not coming with the thought that something's wrong. I'm just adding orders.
Yeah, troop movements and maneuvering is the not foundation. It's one of the pillars of, like, military, or successful military operations, right? If you can move your men faster than the enemy can, then you more than likely will win any war, right? Which, clearly your father doesn't believe in because the roads are just so shitty.
Because the roads are so shit.
Fucking roads
yeah.
suck. You got great boats though. So we got cool boats and shitty roads.
Yeah.
It's so American. I love it.
Yeah. It's parody, okay? No, you guys head on over and get them sorted in the marshes of Livistio. We love those marshes. They are filled with a subset of grung known as froglins. Grung are essentially frog people who are monstrous in origin, are connected to amphibians, and the froglins are like a subspecies of them. They're close in origin to what I believe bullywogs used to be before I lost all notes on what a bullywog stat block is in 5e. I found Froglin, but I could not find Bollywog.
Are the Froglins related to other monstrous beings that are from the Mother of Monsters, Tiamat?
Yes, they are.
Are they? Okay. Had to check.
Yep. Most monsters were dreamed up by that creature. Or rather, they're clerics who did, like, weird experimentation and essentially made that species a monster in the Second Age. Or really at the beginning of this age. Aside from that deep lore and that deep cut, your peoples will go and start expunging the borders of the marshes, keeping them out of Livistio. The, not Baron. He is a count. Don't have a name for this NPC, but I know that he is a very accomplished count. Meaning he is either in well with the king, or all of his people quite like what he has done in Livistio. Either through agricultural expansion, or just taking care of his people. The count there... I actually don't even know if it's a guy yet. It is not. It is a woman. The Countess of Livistio is a very accomplished countess. And does not seem to mind that state troops are not entering her territory, but outside of it to clear a problem that is pervasive in this region. She's like, oh, she's fucking sick. Cool, go for it. We've been trying to expand it for years. You're doing this on someone else's dime? Hell yeah. Just does not give a shit at all. Yeah. That will take some time, but not nearly as much time as literally copying a book, like a conversation and then writing a letter. We will say that all happens on the 5th. Group movements. Any other small activities we can knock out, gang, before the end of this session?
I mean, nothing.
Oh, go for it, Dyson.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't got anything to do right now.
You want to go bug the Royal Alchemist?
You know, he's
Like,
here, he doesn't
please,
like
please.
it.
Just gotta keep
I already
bugging
have,
him.
I have an in with an alchemist, okay? I just gotta go find a buried place.
Friendship over with Royal Alchemist. Necroprancer is new best friend.
Look, man, you get one chance to get in. You got out.
Into the Dizem camp, and he missed his opportunity.
Okay.
When Glunis ascends that throne, it's not gonna be him there as the Royal Alchemist, it's gonna be the Necroprancer.
I think my activity's taken the longest. Otherwise, I would say try to find rumors or news out of Niord.
No news will actually be able to come down, because once it's known that a fleet of river pirates sit between your country and the border realm between, no ship in, or like one single ship in their right mind is going to like challenge that. They're just going to hang out at Rien until the problem is either dealt with, or mercenaries or both countries somehow come together and like find a peaceful way of doing this. Or what's more likely going to happen is they're going to wait until after Niord takes control of that river, kills your pirates, and then maybe after the war takes over or takes on, maybe they'll risk it and be like, oh no, we're just merchants, not getting involved, have fun, don't kill us, it's against international warfare to kill traveling civilians. But only if they're desperate. Otherwise, they're gonna chill. They're gonna hang out. It does not sound like anyone
I
else...
want to do two things if I have the time. The first is take this arrowhead and give it to our acting like court wizard, I guess.
Hannigan Flanagan?
So that... is Hannigan our father's...
Of course.
My bitter rival.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Sneffer.
Yes.
Can I give it to Bogvarsh instead, then? And so this is a cursed relic that we acquired and needs to be taken care of. Please make sure that it is stashed in the reliquary or neutralized or whatever magics need be done. Please take care of it.
Okay.
And
Can
then...
Bogvarsh remove curse?
We'll get to him. Don't worry.
Okay, got it. My bad.
And then, my brain fell out. What was the other thing I wanted to do? My brain fell out. I'll try to remember the other thing. But I don't have it right now.
Okay. Then, as our final scene of this episode, Bogvarsh will call for Ursale at the very end and say, Ursale, I need you to throw this bag into the river. And inside that bag, you will find a cursed spearhead made by demon iron, which she does not have any way of dealing with at all, except by literally throwing it into a bunch of rocks, in a bag with a bunch of rocks, and hurl it into the river. Like, hopefully it will carry to the ocean.
Everything returns to the ocean eventually.
True.
I remember what I wanted. Can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
I need a silvered sword.
Oh.
And so I try to requisition a silver sword with my 0 money. I don't know if that's possible, but I think that we have a very strong opportunity of fighting demons or infernal characters of some kind, and I've basically been told by multiple people that like they need to be fought with silver. So a silvered weapon on the off chance of fighting shapeshifters, or even eventually going after Toronto, which is probably just necessary. So I guess I look for a blacksmith or somebody in the Royal that will. I want to get that process started. I don't know if it's something that could get done fast, but I want to start the process of getting a silvered weapon.
It can get done immediately for... John doesn't want to spend... Well, I need to start calculating experience. It can get done immediately for... Bryce Bronson will, upon hearing that you need a silver weapon for whatever reason, will quite literally just give you a silver longsword, which he assumes is what you use.
That is sick.
Yeah.
I thank him.
No problem. I have 12.
You're awesome, kind of. I heard you through a table the other day. Super.
No,
pissed,
that's a lie.
honestly.
I didn't do anything of the sort.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I'm far too fat and
silvered
feeble
weapon.
to throw a table, especially one made out of mahogany that weighs 200 pounds.
Well, thank you very much for the blade. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
You will take the silver longsword. Please add it to your sheet as John does some calculations for experience. Guys, quests have been completed. You gained a personal objection or not objection, an objective that was getting Sonny to join your mercenary band. Now, there will be some ramifications of hiring this mercenary, such as he demands payment and trinkets. But for right now, we don't really need to care about that. John needs to make a denote on the XP. Let's go around the table real quick and talk about reputation if you think you've earned it. And then I want us to say our favorite thing about Felix. That way we have a catalog. What was your favorite Felix moment, guys?
He was red.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that.
Come on. Red, the person? You can do better than that.
My favorite Felix moment was when he went on a simple outing to gather news and such, and threw a multi-day kegger with all the local craftsmen
Yes.
and hunters and rangers and labor rights.
My favorite Felix moment was when he tried to beat up someone and then got the shit kicked in by Smiling Sam. Well, I stood there rooting on Smiling Sam and also had to make sure he didn't die.
Oh.
I loved how gentlemanly he was to, like, even his enemies, right? This guy was all about being a flair for dramatic and like cool, but also just to be the gentleman warrior. He was ready to throw down, but in style. That was very cool. Also, dude was just a fun guy, right? I really liked Jeff. He brought a lot of like just like humor, like a subtle humor, not kind of some humor is very overt and like, but he like would just slip things in. I liked that a lot.
Oh.
I'll miss him.
He knew how to slip
I think
it
the
in.
thing.
Speaking of over,
I think the thing that I appreciated the most was like when he got put in an awkward situation as the character, how he played like all the ums and uhs and like I just really enjoyed all of that, playing around with how awkward his character was in those situations.
Yeah, that I don't want to call it whinging, but that kind of was what it like the vocalized like. Are you sure you want to do that? Yes.
Yeah.
Prince.
It's not whinging, but it is he could weaponize a wince in his voice quite well.
Oh.
Like he could use the wince as a role play style. It's very good.
Very true. Oh, we're gonna miss you, Jeff. I know you might not be watching the VODs. I hope you are. But we really will. Reputation. Let's knock it out, guys.
I want 1 point of ick to Dizem for the hand.
1 point of totally gross.
Honestly, he left a festering, rotting hand in the middle of the castle courtyard for almost 2 months at this point. I feel like that's just -1 honor because the whole castle has been under threat of festering hand.
It's in my bedroom, my personal bedroom. It's not in the courtyard. It's in my own. Where
is your personal bedroom, though? It's in a little. It's in a little hut in the middle of the courtyard of the castle.
It is in its own little corner.
There's flies around your hut. Let's be completely real.
Okay.
The maids are being held off by the knights for breaking. The maids want to break in there.
They're not allowed in there. It's full of dangerous.
That's why they want to break in. No, this is the prince's cleric. You must leave him. He has strange and foreign religious practices. There's 1,000 flies! They're getting in the kitchens!
Look.
It's springtime, too, so they're just out in
the
forest.
I feel like Dizem is being judged really heavily here.
Yes, that's why he loses the point of honor.
None of you stopped him from taking this hand.
You don't get to shift this blame, Chief. I'm sorry. It sounds
I
like
didn't kill D.F. Humphrey to get this heat.
Hang on one second. I am updating Beyonce's character sheet for the experience that you guys are going to be getting for this session. Before I do it. Dizem, I don't know if you were doing this intentionally of tracking every single session's worth of experience, but Roll20 does not care, to my understanding, for individual notation.
Oh, no, I have. I've added every single session's worth of XP in there.
Yeah, I understand, but I have aggregated it to its actual total. That way, the character sheet will actually trigger, rather than you keeping track of it manually. If you wish to have the raw numbers, I can copy-paste it somewhere in your character sheet.
Yeah, just throw that in the party chat. I'll grab that later.
I'll just put it
It's like
in
be a while
his
to get all that
ideals.
together.
additional features
worry
and
about
traits. There you go, bud. I'm just doing some character sheet maintenance, I suppose. Anybody else, as we subtract 1 point of honor, bringing Dizem's honor to 1.
Oh no!
Does anyone else get anything?
No.
Let's see.
No one gets anything. Subtractions. Oh.
Oh, well, Glittis just gave the okay to the pirates that, yeah, you guys can go after innocent merchants.
For sure. That's dishonorable as hell.
That's dishonorable.
Is it dishonor or tyranny?
You know what?
No, it's dishonor
Flavor text
for
it.
sure.
Okay.
Because you're not the one doing the piracy. If you were doing it, then it would be
I
a
didn't
little
really
tyrannical.
order them to either. I just turned a blind eye.
Yeah. That's dishonor.
Which is
for
pretty
sure.
dishonorable.
It's fair.
Honor doesn't
I'll take
win
it.
wars.
It's fair.
Does Orsale get ambition for his religious chicanery
right.
with Brogvarsh?
I did kind of big dog
big
Brogvarsh there.
Yeah.
Do you remember in AD&D when druids, in order to climb the ranks of druids, had to win a contest of like physical strength against the druid ahead of them? I really want Ursale to like challenge Brogvarsh to like a druidic fight so that they can slug the shit out of each other to see who the true prince of the druids is.
Greg, that's why they care so much about physical strength. Yeah. It's already I've already got you, man. I love that part.
All right,
too.
I'm in.
Any final reputation points before I give out experience? Sneffy, do you got anything?
I blew up a whole bunch of boars. That was fun.
That was sick.
Finally got to use that. I completed a small... I translated a book. There's no translation reputation.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did you ever get ambition for taking the Queen's book? Like, way back?
I think that session I got one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, so I don't think I get anything.
That's fair. That is...
Maybe servility for a written report I just made up on the spot.
No.
But
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think Felix loses all loyalty for abandoning us.
No, he doesn't lose that. Unfortunately, he is called to a greater purpose, as John
It's true.
makes him a paladin. For he denied demonic influence, the heritage of his... if I can extrapolate on where I was kind of shooting for him, and, tempting him. He rejected temptation at every single, opportunity. He was gonna become a paladin, guys.
Felix was the man for sure.
Felix was
you called him a dog too, and he's still...
Yeah.
Yeah, you went pretty hard at him.
I didn't. Maurot did. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop Stop claiming I'm doing it. I'm just the voices in my head compel me. Everybody.
John Dungeon Master.
Please take home 550 experience points for roleplay, quest, development, but no combat. Because John did not have it in him to attack you on the planes.
All right. I think that dings me because I'm 6609 now.
It should.
I got very sidetracked. How much XP one more time?
550.
550.
550.
Yes.
That should level me up. Because I only need 60.
Indeed. Okay, guys.
Congratulations.
That will be us for today. We will do level up shenanigans next time. Or at least tell people what we went or what we got. I know 5th level for most of you is big. I know Yonsei is going to hit 5th level because I added the experience to her as well. I don't know when, but I'm going to need a Sunday off in like the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending, probably sooner rather than later, for personal reasons. So, just as a heads up, if you don't see us in a week or two, that will be why. I'll do a little lesser posting announcement. In other news, I am working on my own role-playing game, currently called JRPG, for John Role-Playing Game. That's what we're going... No other reason, no tie-ins. I swear it's not a tie-in to your favorite Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior quest. That I will hopefully be... playtesting or playtesting live. I'm not sure what. Currently, we're looking at a dungeon crawl for the main setting. So if you're into dungeon crawls, traps, and a cool little world that I've concocted specifically for this game system to test out, keep in tune. One of these days, I'm gonna throw up the Discord onto the description so that the random people who get this can like actually join in on the server. But if not,
You should probably do that. Yeah.
you know, maybe I'll advertise. Maybe I'll. Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna be doing some playtesting. Hopefully soon. Hopefully. If you are interested in participating, I have also done a little thing in my less important announcements, and it's where all the information is. It's just a roll up a Discord. You can get added and or at me, and I will bump you up so you have access to those channels. Gamers,
Awesome.
That'll be it for us. Unless anyone has any shout-outs they want to make, specifically named Greg Hansen and his upcoming stuff.
Oh, sure. I run West Marches on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Greg Hansen. I'm very creative with names, as you can tell. We are starting up season 3 this Friday. We have a group heading out for the first time with the new season. It is open to everyone to join in if you would like. There are links to my Discord everywhere. You can find it. Once again, I'm very creative with names. And you can join us out beyond the mist. We run in 5e. There's some homebrew to make the system work with the West Marches hex crawl kind of thing. But I think I've got it pretty locked in for this is our 3rd season. I'm really happy with it, and I'm excited to play. So if you would like to see me in my more natural habitat, sitting in the DM chair, running some people through a nightmare wilderness, come watch or come play. You can discover all kinds of weird secrets in the lands beyond the mist. All right, that was very uncomfortable. Shilling done.
Your shilling is
No, that was
complete.
great.
Yeah.
Guys, that'll be it for us, unless any final chance for shoutouts. 3, 2, 1. That'll be us. As always, don't die. See you
Don't
next
die.
time.